Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
This is Assassin's Creed 3, Part 8 that we're checking out today, all the cutscenes, and let's get to it.
Let's do it. Ooh, one thing to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it wasn't Achilles who cut him down. I don't know if you saw that in the Patreon.
Okay.
They don't want to spoil who it was for us, but I guess it's either revealed later or in like one of the DLCs. And apparently it's like, ooh, you guys are going to be super surprised when you see who did it.
Cool.
Winter approaches. The air is still and sharp with grim expectation. The others sense it too and go about their work with uncommon urgency. I would like to help them, but more pressing matters now demand my attention. The Templars have targeted George Washington directly and will not rest until he is dead. I had hoped to shield him from this knowledge, but Thomas Hickey ended any hope I had of staying silent. And so I have resolved to share everything I know of the Templars and their plots, of who I really am. Achilles finds fault in this, and we argue every day, but there is simply too much now at stake to maintain restraint.
Don't do this, Connor!
Then what would you propose we do? Sit and watch while the Templars take control? We are sworn to stop them, or have you forgotten?
Assassins are meant to be quiet, precise. We do not go announcing conspiracies from the rooftops to all who pass by.
Who are you to lecture anyone? You locked yourself away in this crumbling heap and gave up on the Brotherhood entirely. Since the day I arrived, you've done nothing but discourage me. And on the rare occasions you've chosen to help, you've done so little, you may as well have done nothing at all.
Oh, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Then tell me, on whose watch did the Brotherhood falter? Whose inaction allowed the Templar Order to grow so large that it now controls an entire nation?
If I sought to dissuade you, it was because you knew nothing. If I was reluctant to contribute, it was because you were naive. 1,000 times you would have died and taken God knows how many with you. Let me tell you something, Connor. Life is not a fairy tale, and there are no happy endings.
No. Not when men like you are left in charge.
Ouch.
In your haste to save the world, boy, take care you don't destroy it. Ha!
Commander.
Connor,
Any word on Lee?
not yet. My apologies. I've been distracted. Supply caravans meant for the camp have gone missing. I suspect treachery. A traitor named Benjamin Church, recently released from prison, has vanished as well. The two events are surely related.
What was his crime?
He was caught sending letters to the Loyalists, detailing our troop strength. He claimed it was a scare tactic, that we might avoid war. A poor lie.
I will find Church for you.
Why? What reason have you to help?
Does it matter?
I'm an assassin. It's what I do.
As you wish. We've received reports of trouble along the southern road. Might be he's responsible. I suggest you begin your search there.
Father. Connor. Any last words? Wait. A poor choice. Come to check up on Church? Make sure he'd stolen enough for your British brothers?
Benjamin Church is no brother of mine. No more than the Redcoats or their idiot king. Oh, I expected naivete, but this... The Templars do not fight for the crown. We seek the same as you, boy. Freedom, justice, independence.
What?
But what?
Johnson, Pitcairn, Hickey. They sought to steal land, to sack towns, to murder George Washington.
Johnson sought to own the land, that we might keep it safe. Pitcairn aimed to encourage diplomacy, which you cocked up thoroughly enough to start a goddamn war. And Hickey? George Washington is a wretched leader. He's lost nearly every battle in which he's taken part. The man's racked with uncertainty and insecurity. Only look at Valley Forge to know my words are true. We're all better off without him. Look, much as I'd love to spar with you, Benjamin Church's mouth is as big as his ego. You clearly want the supplies he's stolen. I want him punished. Our interests are aligned.
What do you propose?
A truce. Perhaps
Bless you.
Perhaps some time together might do us good.
Hell no.
You are my son, after all, and might still be saved from your ignorance. I can kill you now, if you prefer.
Crazy's got a hidden blade too.
Excellent. Shall we be off?
Do you even know where Benjamin Church has gone?
I'm afraid not. I'd hoped to ambush him when he or one of his men returned here. It seems I'm too late. They've come and cleared the place out.
I may be able to track him. There were rations inside the crates. Medical supplies and clothing as well.
He's using you. Because you're a good tracker. Better than him.
Snow has obscured the tracks, but enough remains that we can still follow.
Oof, nice. Devastating.
Just my luck. Going to freeze to death if I don't get this fixed.
Are you Ben Church's man?
Where are you going?
Well played.
It was not wise to run.
What do you want?
Where is Benjamin Church?
I don't know. We was riding for a camp just north of here. It's where we normally unload the cargo. Maybe you'll find him there.
Enough of that.
You did not have to kill him.
Let's not waste time with all this pointless banter. Go catch up with the rest of Church's men. Infiltrate that camp of theirs and see what you can discover.
And what about you?
Never you mind. Just do as I ask.
He doesn't work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Can you not see how he just has no respect for you?
It's not my business to be sure or not sure. I just do as Church asks. If you're so concerned, take it up with him.
Murder bush.
Is he
This
here?
is my murder bush.
Of course not.
Continue
Hiding in
murder.
New York, the last I heard. Trying to keep a low profile. Well, on account of him not wanting to go back to jail and all.
All right, I need it.
Hello. Goodbye. Guess it's just a listening bush now.
It's gonna become a murder bush.
Look what we found.
He was creeping around the camp all suspicious like.
Must be a Yank spy.
Nah, he's something else. Something special. Isn't that right, Hatham? Church told me all about you.
And you should know better than this.
You're not really in a position to be making threats, are you?
Not yet.
Oh! Thorough.
He's got a lot of friends.
evening, Connor. I see you made it here in one piece.
Recovered from your beating, then?
Benjamin Church is holed up on an abandoned brewery on the waterfront. We should be done with this by sunrise.
Good. I would like to have those supplies returned as soon as possible.
Of course. I wouldn't want to keep you from your lost cause. Come along, then. Follow me.
Tell me something.
Hmm?
You could have killed me when we first met. What stayed your hand?
Curiosity. Any other questions?
What is it the Templars truly seek?
Order. Purpose. Direction. No more than that. It's your lot that means to confound with this nonsense talk of freedom. Time was. The assassins professed a far more sensible goal. That of peace.
Freedom is peace.
Oh no. It's an invitation to chaos. Only look at this little revolution your friends have started. I have stood before the Continental Congress and listened to them stamp and shout. All in the name of liberty. But it is just noise.
And this is why you favor Lee?
He understands the needs of this would-be nation far better than the Jobberknolls who profess to represent it.
Jobberknolls. Good word.
It seems your tongue has tasted sour grapes. The people have made their choice, and it was Washington.
People chose nothing. It was done by a group of privileged cowards seeking only to enrich themselves. They convened in private and made a decision that would benefit them. Oh, they might have dressed it up with pretty words. That does not make it true. The only difference, Connor, the only difference between myself and those you aid is that I do not feign affection.
No, because you don't have any.
Hold a moment. Church, you clever bastard.
What is it?
I was hoping I could wave you past the guards, but it has replaced most of them with men I don't know. Well, I should be able to pass without arousing suspicion, but you...
No. We do this together or not at all.
Then what do you propose?
I will find a guard who is off duty and take his uniform.
Very well. I will wait here then.
Of course you will.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to come along and hold your hand, perhaps? Provide kind words of encouragement? That should suffice. Follow me.
Hold, strangers. You tread on private property. What business have you here?
The Father of Understanding guides us.
You I recognize, not the savage.
He is my son.
Tasted of the forest fruits, did you? Off you go, then.
It's locked. Give me a moment.
Must be strange for you, discovering my existence as you have.
I'm actually curious to know what your mother might have said about me. Always wondered what life might have been like had she and I stayed together. How is she, by the way?
Dead. Murdered.
By Lee.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, you're sorry. I found my mother burning alive. I'll never forget her face as she sent me away. Charles Lee is responsible for her death by your order. And you're sorry.
It's impossible. I gave no such order. I spoke the opposite, in fact. I told them to give up the search for the precursor site. We were to focus on more practical pursuits.
It is done, and I'm all out of forgiveness.
So maybe you don't have as much control over Charles Lee as you thought.
Yeah, because I do actually believe him. I don't
Yeah.
think he gave the order.
You stand accused of betraying the Templar Order and abandoning our principles in pursuit of personal gain. In consideration of your crime, I hereby sentence you to death.
No!
Dramatic.
You're too late. Church and the cargo are long gone. And I'm afraid you won't be in any condition to follow. We've chosen to stand with the victor. It's Britain who will win this war. You always did prefer principles of profit. Perhaps that's why your little kingdom started to crumble.
Take him down!
That one! And he's half-breed!
Surround them!
Where is Church?
I'll tell you anything you want. Only promise that you'll let me live.
I can't. I'll promise I'll let you live, but he's not gonna let you live.
You have my word.
He left yesterday for
You're not gonna
Martinique.
like it when your dad kills him.
Took passage on a trading sloop called the Welcome. Loaded half its hold with the supplies he stole from the Patriots. That's all I know, I swear. You promised.
And he kept his word. Let's go.
Oh, they had the high ground. Oh shit.
Yeah, oh shit is right.
We need to get out of here.
You don't say.
Yeah, he already has a head start. You're catching your breath.
So close, yet so far. We need to find a way around the flames. Did Church pay you well? You rewarded handsomely. And what good does your gold do you now?
It's twice you've saved his life.
Stuck. See if you can find something to pry it open. Honor? What are you up to? No, don't do that. There's no way of knowing what's on the other side.
Awesome. I bet that was satisfying.
Yeah.
We do now.
And if it was, you know, more solid ground ahead, you'd break my fall.
Church is at least a day on us. We must move quickly if we're to catch him.
I have a ship we can use. Meet me on the pier when you're ready.
Shall we? I told you this was a poor heading. Church is surely days ahead of us now.
Have some faith in the boy. He's yet to disappoint.
Well, the bar's not been set very high now, has it?
We are closer than you think, Father.
Ship code!
Is it the Welcome?
Aye, and she's dropped anchor.
Bring us in for a closer look, son.
It seems the ship has been abandoned.
Church always was a slippery little bastard.
After them! I want everything.
second chance at this.
She's passing between the cliffs, boy, and the Aquila's too big to follow. We need to go around.
God damn it! We're going to lose him!
Not as easy as it looks.
What other choice have we? Those rocks would crush us.
The current here is swift. We still have a chance.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Seeing all those cannonballs just come flying at you.
You should consider
Crazy.
ceasing fire, or at least switching to chain shot.
Oh, a little bit, you know. Aim where it's going, not where it's at.
Yeah, there's a lot of wasted ammo. That's better.
There we go. Board the man of war. This is pretty cool.
Men, prepare to board. What are you doing?
Ending this.
Secure the ship!
Hook us in! Bring her close! To arms! To arms!
Man the swivels! Cover from the quarter deck!
The Clutterbuck brothers.
Tie off the
I need to get below deck. Who knows what madness my father intends? Empty. What has Church done with the cargo?
It's been quite an adventure. Let me tell you. Working my way through your nasty little tricks and traps. Clever! Some of them anyway. I'll give you credit for that. And for the quietude with which you pulled it off. We had a dream, Benjamin! A dream you sought to destroy!
Very hurt.
And for that, my fallen friend, you will be made to pay!
Ooh. Getting up close and personal.
Enough. We came here for a reason.
Different reasons, it seems.
Where are the supplies you stole? Go to hell.
You first.
I ask again. Where are the supplies?
On the island yonder. Awaiting pickup. But you've no right to it. It isn't yours.
Nor is it
No.
yours.
Not mine. Those supplies are meant for men and women who believe in something bigger than themselves. Who fight and die that one day they might be free from tyranny such as yours.
Are these the same men and women who fight with muskets forged from British steel? Who bind their wounds with bandages sewn by British hands? convenient for them. We do the work. They reap the rewards.
You spin a story to excuse your crimes, as though you're the innocent one and they the thieves.
It's all a matter of perspective. There is no single path through life that's right and fair and does no harm. Do you truly think the crown has no cause? No right to feel betrayed? You should know better than this. Dedicated as you are to fighting Templars, who themselves see their work as just. Think on that the next time you insist your work alone befits the greater good. Your enemy would beg to differ, and would not be without cause.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his passing was a boon for us both. Come on. I expect you'll want my help retrieving everything from the island.
I really like this, and I mean, they're doing a great job showing that. Yeah, I mean, both Haytham and Connor are doing what they think is what's right and what's best for the people, and they do a great job with Haytham because I feel like he is I don't know, like when someone goes down with like a villain path or whatever. A lot of times they have, not a lot of times, but sometimes like, and especially like more like when they're more like complex villains, they might like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, you know? And so I feel like Haytham is different than Charles Lee, whereas like Charles Lee is kind of more about like power. Haytham is like, you know, when he talks about like order and kind of calls out the, I don't want to say hypocrisy, but like he's saying that like, you know, the people didn't choose George Washington, like he was chosen like by like a private amount of people, you know, and he's just, and so he makes some good like points, and like, and I agree with you. I don't think that he did order that execution to happen. I think that like he was just as surprised that it happened as like we were led to believe. So it's just like they do a good job with that because, you know, the betrayal of Haytham, like when we're playing as him, or you know, you play him as him at first, and then you think he's an assassin, then he switches to Templar, and then you just think that he's like, you know, this evil person. But it's like, I don't think Haytham is evil. Like, wrong, misguided, sure, but like, I don't think that he is 100% evil.
I don't know. Like, I think Charles Lee is the kind of evil that we're very familiar with, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he's incredibly self-serving. Mm-hmm. He's loyal to himself. He's linked up with a cause that empowers him. Mm-hmm. Do I think at the end of the day that Charles Lee is really do or die for the Templars? No. I think Charles Lee is do or die for himself. Yeah. There is a heartlessness to him that is, it's got kind of a sharper edge to it than Haytham's. Haytham, like his heartlessness is sort of like practicality to an extreme. Because I do believe that he really did care for Connor's mom. I do believe that it was a shock to him to hear what happened to her, and he was not happy about it, which shows that like there's at least some kind of heart in there. At the same time, his cause is such that, well, people had to die. Mm-hmm. Like, he was very willing to shoot the guy that Connor was talking to when he had his back up against a tree trying to get some answers. Now, was that to hide the answers that Connor might have gotten? Or was that because he just didn't think this guy's life meant anything and he didn't deserve to live anymore? I don't know, but there's a heartlessness in that.
I think he thought that, you know, the guy was an enemy. He's part of the, you know, betrayal that was Benjamin Church. And so he's worked for him. So he's like, he saw him as the enemy, and like, you know, this is a war and he had to take him out. I mean, you know, he's not the only one with blood on his hands in this. It's not like Connor's death count is not high.
No, Connor then went through and was just like coming up behind people and stabbing them in the back and then walking on. Exactly. So, but I love what Connor said about like, your words may be sincere, but that doesn't make them true. And I feel like that's kind of accurate of Haytham as well. Mm-hmm. I do believe that Haytham sincerely believes in his philosophy of life. Yeah. It's one I'm diametrically opposed to, and it's one I think most villains tend to go down, which is you can't be free. You have to have order for there to be a decent society. And of course, when there's order like that, they always mean we're in charge and you peons work beneath us. And like in a sense, I kind of find that philosophy a little bit evil, that like the philosophy is law and order is the only way forward and freedom is a path to chaos. Like, I'm not saying that there's not some truth to that. I think there is. Like, freedom can coincide with chaos, but at the same time, like, that is the gamble for freedom, right? Like, we buy into that and we say, like, freedom is worth it. This is also why we have a justice system to contain this, but like, it's not law and order like authoritarianism. Like, when he talks about it, I hear authoritarianism, whether it's by one person or a small collective. Like, that's how it sounds. And to me, that is a villain path for sure.
Well, it's interesting that we're watching this along the same time as we're doing season 3 of Legend of Korra, because in that, one of the villains in there wants to, like, I don't want to go too much in it, just in case you haven't seen it. You should check out Legend of Korra; it's a really great show. Yeah. But basically, wants total freedom for everybody and
anarchy.
Yeah, that basically, which is basically like anarchy and chaos. So like, there is nobody in charge. Nobody should be in charge of anything. Points to like bad leaders, and yeah, like, you know, there can be corruption, there can be bad leaders. That's why you want the freedom to be able to choose who you are, you know, who's leading you. Like, to have, like, you know, some sort of choice in that. The one side is like, if you go too far for the freedom side, then it's kind of chaos and anarchy, and only the strong survive, only strong and ruthless survive. And then if you go too far the other way, where it's like, okay, you gotta have order in it, then you get into the authoritarian, where it's like just too much order. You're not allowed to do anything because you can't be relied upon to make the right choice for yourself and for the good of the society. So I will tell you what you can do, which again will at least lead more corruption. So you got to find that balancing act. But you say that like Hatham kind of wants it for like power for like a select amount of people, but he kind of called out the colonists or whatever, separatists in this for kind of doing the same thing. He's like, but like, at least, but I think the way he said it, I can't remember the exact way he said it. It was a good way to phrase it. He's just like, but I'm not at least gonna pretend that I am.
I'm not gonna pretend affection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I heard in that was what I think is often the case with people of that philosophy, which is they're very willing to accuse others of what they themselves are guilty.
Mm.
Who's going to be in charge of the law and order, Hatham? Oh, you and your Templars. You're no different than what you've just called out. So like, the hypocrisy of what he's saying is very much on display. He just doesn't see it.
But I think he does. I think what he's saying is that, like, at least I know I'm a hypocrite or whatever. At least I know that, like, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm going to give let the people decide and like and give all this freedom to the people, when really it's just gonna be like a select amount of people that have the power and have the control. That's the way I interpret him saying it. I don't know if that's true. I'd have to talk with Hatham about this.
No, I mean, I think as you say that, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely merit to that. But then I think there's a little bit of false equivalency there between like a small group of authoritarian rulers like the Templars versus what we know becomes the representatives of the colonies.
Yeah. No,
so I mean, like,
I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying that like he makes good points in the sense that I can see where he's coming from, and I can see how he got there to where he is at, where I'm just like, okay, you're not like a total psychopath or like a complete villain or like this like power hungry asshole. Like, I can see where you got this. Like, again, like I don't agree with you, and I don't think kind of what Connor was saying, you know, just because you have a point doesn't mean you're right or whatever, just because you're...
I believe that your words are sincere, but that doesn't make them true.
Exactly. And so I like exactly what he told the Benjamin Church. That's how I feel about Hatham.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I do believe he is sincere. So like in a sense, that's why it's hard for me to hate him. And like, I don't know if I want to go as far as say that I like him, but there is like a little bit of charming,
that dry humor that comes in.
Yeah. I mean, he was charming enough that we liked him in the beginning. So he still is that. He kind of like is that same person. It's just now we know like a little bit more about him and what he really wants, but he still like he was charming, and so he still kind of has that.
It was good that came out in this episode.
Yeah.
Like in the from the beginning to now, we hadn't really seen a ton of that, so it was nice between him and Connor that we got to see that again.
And it was cool to see him like jump on Connor like he was an assassin and have the hidden blade and everything like that. So yeah, it was fun seeing Connor and Haytham, like that whole dynamic going on there. I'm glad Connor was able to get off his chest. Now I would like to see how Haytham, knowing what he knows now about Charles Lee and what he did, how do you act towards him now? How do you respond to him now? How can you trust that guy? Also, I found it interesting, just like, because I really do believe that Haytham thinks what he is doing is right, because, which is different from John Hickey, who's just doing what he was doing because, like, whoever pays the most. Like, it doesn't matter if it's right, it doesn't matter if it's wrong. I'm just gonna do whatever. So that's why I have more like respect for Haytham. And the reason I think that he like does passionately believe in what he's doing and like the cause is because of how hurt he was that Benjamin Church like betrayed him and betrayed the cause. And just like, was just going to town and beating him. Like, you'd hear it in his voice when he was yelling at him. And the fact that like he didn't just go there and just like, shoot him in the head or like, or stab him in the heart or whatever. It was, you wanted him to know, like, he was just, you could feel the rage and the anger he was about like betraying the cause that he believed in so much. So yeah, all in all, this is a good part. One of my favorite parts we've watched so far.
Yeah. And I think like it's brought up good discussions
exactly,
because they are doing a very good job showing essentially two entirely different philosophies on how to run a country between what Connor is saying and what Haytham is saying. And it's kind of a philosophical debate that's been happening for centuries. Still happens today. Like, it hasn't gone anywhere. And I agree with you. I think like Haytham does truly believe in it. I feel like so strongly that he's wrong.
I know.
I'm so on Team Connor for that. But that's it. It is an interesting question. Like, for these two individuals who are butting heads, who are so diametrically opposed, like, is there ever an opportunity where one can see the other's perspective and they can, like, I don't know. Is it capable of like having your mind changed in terms of like such polarization of points of view?
Well, it's when you talk about like a political conversation, and like, I don't want to get too much into it, but like when you're having a political conversation with somebody, like what I'm looking for is, okay, is what you're telling me, your philosophical belief, like, even if it's different from mine, am I hearing what you're saying because you believe this is what's best for like the greater good or whatever, or the overall, like, and so that's what I think that Haytham is like, or are you saying this because this is what's good for you? This is what works for you. And like, so that's why, like, for Hickey, it's like, this is what works for him. For Charles Lee, this is what works for him. For Haytham, for Connor, this is what they believe is the best for like, for the greater good. And like, yeah. And so that's what, yeah. Yeah, do you want to get too much into like a political conversation or anything?
No, but I mean, that's interesting too, because it's like, I look at Hickey and I look at Charles Lee and I'm like, you guys don't believe in shit. Sorry. You believe in yourselves.
Yeah.
What's good for you today could change and be different tomorrow, and you would float merrily along down to whatever that is. So I can't respect them whatsoever. I'm if anything repulsed by them.
Oh yeah.
But Haytham, it's like I can respect him, but I'm just like, I'm beating my head against the wall. I'm like, oh, I so disagree with you. But I also understand why you're so passionate about this, because when one's believing in something only for themselves, it's very hard to like, I think, get entrenched in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you truly believe like, this isn't just for me, this is for like my friends and my family and my community and my neighbors and my countrymen. Like, when you start expanding it beyond you and you really buy into it, whatever your philosophy is, it's very hard to pull back from that, because like it takes time to buy in.
Yeah.
Like, you really have to go down that path and buy into it. So then the untangling of it becomes like a part of your identity. It's very hard to do.
Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you want to jump ahead and get early access to our Assassin's Creed reactions and all of our reactions on the gaming channel, then check out the join button down below. Join our YouTube membership. And if you want access to both of our channels, then head over to Patreon. Links in the description of the video.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for checking out Assassin's Creed with us. But you keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.